Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for August the 9th through the 15th, 2021. So, before we begin, I'd just like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone and hope that your week has been very rewarding and peaceful. And also, I'd like to welcome also anyone who's new to my channel for the very first time. So, just to highlight one particular thing, my angel reading special offer for $77 is my half-hour reading, but for the pandemic, since the pandemic, I have extended it for 1 full hour. And so if you'd like to take advantage of this offer, you can contact me at theangelschool.com/the services page. And that link is below the video. When you go to the page, you will just look for the half-hour reading as is. And then once you select it, in 24 hours, I will send you a confirmation email noting the special offer and that has been extended for 1 full hour. Now, this is for the entire month of August, and anything you need to know how to set up your appointment will be in that confirmation email. So just follow all the directions there. Okay, and so let's take a deep breath and really connect in with your I am presence. You may want to center in your heart space. And just be aware of, have a general sense of the profound love that resides within you. And the angels are just showing me a waning moon. So today when we're recording this is the 7th, and tomorrow will be the new moon. So today is Saturday, the August 7th, and they just want to bring your attention to this new moon and some of the events that are going to occur tomorrow. Now, I've just posted all of my zodiac readings, the monthly angel scopes for each zodiac sign yesterday. So there's a lot of information there. But it's really important, this event of this weekend. There's a stargate of Lyra, and it's been called the Lion's Gate, and with the number sequence 555. So what this means is that changes are going to be rumbling throughout every area of your life. And when I saw the stargate, it looked like a tongued flame, and sort of like the Midas of the bishops had, or the Pentecostal fire. And so this gives me an additional insight that it's one of great purification and we're all going to go through this process together. They're showing me eagle's wings and soaring high, and it's also going to give you an immediate shift in perspective. So it'll accelerate the ascension process, where you'll have access to this higher consciousness, and where you'll be able to really see things from this perspective of your higher self and source. Now, that's a game changer when you think about it, because that means that you won't be totally at the mercy of your ego. It will be, that means it will make it very difficult for you to um, accept the illusions that your ego has been projecting, especially, and has been, the right word, representation, in the sense that it's been representing you to yourself in the way that is completely false. And doesn't even begin to highlight, and this is the word they're using, the respect that you deserve. And so this is going to start a lot of releasing. And as a lot of things start to release. So right now, even in this waning moon phase, this is a time to release and reflect on what do you want to release. And that's going to work in preparation with this stargate. And it's going to also help you with the new moon at the same time, because it's just so perfect. You set a new intentions, and you're able to start things and begin new things, or give birth to projects and all sorts of things. So it's a time of setting new intentions, and at the same time, the Stargate is resetting your calibration, so to speak, and giving you a chance to start off on an even foot, so to speak, and give you access to new possibilities, and helping you to see and then be aware of the things that you've been doing, so they'll really confront you. And it's not going to be something that's going to be, change is a chaotic process, right? And especially when change rumbles throughout every facet of your life, this is going to be messy. It's going to be screwy. It's going to screw with you, as I've said in the other videos. And it's not going to be very simple, but your response to your truth and this deep inner knowing. So there's going to be this sort of this release of deep knowing is going to open up, that knowing, that intuitive awareness, but this profound knowing. This is so in tune with those strong gut feelings or convictions that you get, right? This is going to become really a sign of your higher self's new positioning, and taking the helm, when this deep knowing within you is going to create this sense of what to do, even when you don't think you know what to do. And this will, so as I said, your response, you have this new opportunity to respond better and to know better what you're doing. So you can't just pretend that we're ignorant any longer, even if we can't just know in words or details as we are used to working with information, sort of from an outside perspective in this knowing of enlightenment they're writing from the inside out is going to start to work for you. You're going to start to understand it better, and in a way that I can't articulate it to you if I tried. You are going to, and I'm saying the word responsible, that's the best word they're giving me. You're just going to have a greater sense of responsibility of what is the right thing for you, for you to do in situations that you weren't able to do as easily because you had so much that the ego was just it was almost like its word was law to us more than our own higher self, and that's a switch. And so even if you keep you know um, you can still act out the same behaviors that are unhealthy, etc., but it will be more intense, so that you feel like you gotta do something about this, that you finally gotta you know really free yourself. And the desire is always going to be to push you, as they're writing here, to free yourself. That inner knowing is always going to be now really pushing you to free yourself from these these illusions that create the drama, that creates the suffering, that creates the feeling of not being good enough. It's going to push you through to free yourself from all of that. Okay? And so, as I've said, this is going to be happening for everybody. So it doesn't matter if people don't appear to be, woke right now. Doesn't matter. Because this is going to occur for everybody. And you got to understand the unconditional love of the universe and free will is still in place. It's just beautiful if you're already with me before I can get the rest of this out. And I'm just getting it myself. But you have to understand that with this, they are not going to force you. The universe is not forcing you to be different, or anyone. Because you got to remember, there are people that are what's going on in the world, think of this as a script for a purpose. And the universe has orchestrated, key players, leading roles, and supporting roles, and background, all of these areas are equally important to the plot that is playing out. And the plot is not going to play out like some, fantasy good, some kind of good fantasy superhero kind of thing, where somebody just comes and saves the day and swoops us all. That is not the kind of Messiah that is present. The Messiah that is present in all of these castings, if you will, if that makes any sense. And every casting, the adversity within the plot is purposefully done, because it is a purposeful activation. Remember in 2020, I said that things were going to happen. It was like an obstacle course to provoke you, to provoke all of us to ascend. And you got to remember that each and every one of us that are here on the planet now, we were called, summoned by Gaia. This was not like, I want to go purchase a ticket to go to Disney World, okay? And anybody can do that, right? No admissions were accepted that were sort of like, I want to come here, purchase to go to Disneyland. You had to be invited by Disneyland to come. No purchase. But they chose the highest, they chose the greatest masters, because the obstacle course was going to be so intense, so that this two-dimensional jump in the ascension process, that it had to be like skilled athletes, like Olympians. So the souls that are here, and it doesn't matter what their role is. It doesn't matter if they're the oh my God, I can't think of the terms, but it doesn't matter if it's what antagonist and protagonist. It doesn't matter which if the person's playing the good guy or the bad guy. This does not matter because the duality sets up the activations, the contrast sets up the opposing forces, set up the activation. And there's an old hymn I remember that was it's like in the Episcopal Church that God is working His purpose out. So you got to understand that this is how it's done because it has to be done this way. You say, why? Why can't He just? Because free will. It's free will. And this is why they call it a school, because it's like setting up an exam. And maybe let's say an Olympian course that will train the athlete or let's say someone who works in military where they go through these intense trainings in the boot camp, and they're put in all kinds of situations so they're prepared, right? And the souls that were chosen, and everyone on the planet was chosen in this way, high Olympian, has the skills to stay on target within the three-dimensional frequencies, because this duality, as we all know, it really wrestles with us. We're constantly torn in everything that we're dealing with, and it's a lot of pressure in it. And then with the lessons that had to be set up, generations ago, and I don't know, and when I say that word generation, I don't know if it's 100 years or 200 years in terms of when they may have stopped this and then started this particular special admissions. But let's just use the word in general, and to any specific time that might come to you, then that's what comes to you. But the point is that a generation ago, the obstacle course would not have been this intense. And those souls, if they had gone through it, would have not fulfilled their mission. They would not have been able to the energies are intense. So every generation sort of says, oh, it's just getting worse. And it's been getting more intense because and it's Olympian. Now it's almost like we're in an Olympian games. We're not in a little league like some generations were ago. It's Olympian games. And if you weren't, that kind of an athlete, I couldn't just get up and say, I'm going to, perform in the Olympics. I don't have any skills. Do you understand? But the pressure of that game would not make me crack because I'm already prepared for it spiritually. And that's what this is for all of us. So, and what we are doing, we all know what we're doing, whether it doesn't matter which side of it that we're on. In that deep inner knowing, we may not know it consciously, but in that deep inner knowing, we know this is our purpose. And that is why both sides right now have such strong conviction. And it is literally, in our country, split the world. It split us in half, and it's probably this way throughout the world. But that conviction is necessary on both sides so that the games can really begin. And the game is acceleration of our ascension process. And we're going to succeed in this. And we're going to all come out on the other side with the awareness of our truth. And so this Lionsgate is really important in sort of clearing things, in my belief, in terms of karma, in terms of really bringing up our own personal lessons and accelerating them, and confronting us with them so that we can move to the next stage together in that process. And I can't tell you how long that's going to take. I can't. But what I can tell you is that this is game on. And so don't be afraid. This is what you came here for. And both sides are playing for the same side. It's just our ego has us not being able to perceive that we are. And once your core self, that authentic, pure, unconditional love, it reveals to you the things that you no longer need to keep perpetuating, and that you need to let go. And this is going to happen for everybody. So if I resist it because I have free will, then it's just going to intensify until I am ready to align myself with my true purpose. And again, this is not the universe. The universe just set up the dynamics, but the intensity that I'm getting back is it's almost as if because you have to think of it like the outer reality is really you energetically. And so it's just bouncing off from whatever you're emitting from your core signal. And then what's out around surrounding you and the way things are unfolding through your perception is the projection of that signal. And this is how the free will within that own personal dynamic with you and your reality is still pure. So your free will has not been tampered with, and yet what is happening, this Lionsgate frequency, what it's doing is shifting the level of the game, and it sort of makes you instantly a better player with more skills and talents that are able to be brought forth. And then the game matches that level. And the game is the lesson that you need to work through in order to become accelerated on your path. So it doesn't matter if it looks like somebody over there is insane, like crazy, fanatical, because the same process is happening for them. And everyone will begin to purify, meaning release those elements that are the making of their own ego's illusion. And then this will happen globally. And just imagine, and one of the things that, I was saying in the video, the other videos was so the divine masculine is coming into balance with the divine feminine as a result of this. Now, again, not all instantaneously, but the stage will be set and the process of the 5-5 stargate will begin to rumble through, okay? And so this means, like in the vision I was talking about where the King of Pentacles, had elements of the Queen of Pentacles, and he was no longer himself. He wasn't sitting on his throne. He was sitting on the earth with his back up against a tree, which represents his focus is on his connection to his higher self. And he was nurturing this pure white bunny rabbit, this symbol of unconditional love and the rebirth of his own soul. The gentleness, and he was just weeping. And now he's sensitive in ways that he hasn't been before. So this is how we're going to, in some of the symbolic ways that this is going to play out for each of us, we're going to become more sensitive. And when we become more sensitive, that means we're going to become more empathic, compassionate, which means that we won't be able to lie without feeling what we're doing. Right, the impact, and that's going to create that change within us. People may change things about their career. So it's just going to be for a while where we're going through this shift and things will feel all scrambled up as we're integrating this balance of the divine masculine and feminine. Okay, so let's sort of get into this reading and see what the information's come up for this week. I mean, the Lionsgate is at the end of the week, how I do it, which was for the previous week, but it's also going to be starting off the beginning of the week. And look at the message here, and it just led right into what I was saying, and it's just amazing how all of this unfolds when you don't know what's going to happen. Sensitivity, the Archangel Haniel. And the message says, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself. Honor yourself and your feelings. This is the best response that you could give, that you could start to give to help you to really be in alignment with your core self. Right? And so this is what the energy is going to be for this week. And I was just speaking about this, all right, that you're going to be, extra sensitive. So, it's going to be really important for you to really ground, because with all of this stargate cosmic energy, you're really going to need to really connect with the earth. So I would really prescribe to you to go outside, sit by a tree, or sit with your back standing or sitting against a tree. Really stand on the earth barefoot and really feel yourself just being rooted by that tree. You may even want to eat foods that grow beneath the soil, like rutabagas and yams and things like this. Also remember, now, the food that we eat, when they say eat local, and we all know this, but just want to remind you, that food has the energy and the information for your region. And when you eat that food, the nutrients of that food, energetically, you're getting the energetic nourishment, balancing downloads that you need to navigate the energies in your area. So if you can eat as much as you can food from your region, that will really help you to feel more grounded as that energetic frequency, you ingest that, and it's like the medicine for what you need on an energetic level and a physical level for your body, because you're breathing, your physical body is breathing in, etc., in that region mostly, and then your consciousness is receiving other signals from others, and those particular regions are creating, they have their own specific I want to say this, their own specific lesson, Olympian game, if you will, and it's with its own obstacle courses and levels. And so staying local helps you to benefits you in providing you with what you need to really excel in your lessons or your Olympian game of your region or community. Sounds a little silly, but really think about it. Doing activities with your hands, gardening or drawing, or anything that yoga, or if you play piano or an instrument, any creative activity would help you also to ground, but also to channel those higher cosmic frequencies in a way that helps your physical body to attune and assimilate them, as well as the grounding energies as well. Okay. All right. So as you're, around a lot of people, just be aware, I think, of the sensitivity in others. People might be easily set off, or people are going to be reacting to each other's energy, um, purging, right? So the debris of that. So just be very much aware. But you can see she's playing a harp, and something artistic is really going to be helpful to you. Okay, so let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. Page of Swords here, and it just looks like she's like this. I'm just gonna go with this as a scene. All right, it just looks like she's sort of yelling at someone. Either the first thing that came to me was, I don't know why I'm going to say traffic, but as if she sees something traffic, and she's yelling at somebody, or telling them to not to do that, or we can all see this scene in our heads when we look at this card. And so the Page of Swords is learning tact, learning about how to communicate. Very intelligent, very perceptive, has that the hawk and eagle traits, but she's learning how to cultivate this. And so, be tactful this week. Okay, pay attention to how the messages come to you in earnest to your heart, and don't filter those. But be aware when you're reacting from ego, and the writing, power tripping, and you just say things that you don't mean to say, and things that I saw the word reputation, which means it'll change people's perception of you and give you a negative reputation or negative vibe. So don't just don't snap at people, because once it's out there, it's hard to change people's perception of you, right? So, this is a learning process. And so, again, I feel like this has to do with just seeing, really try to be grounded as much as possible, because I feel like you could have a lot of little childish spats at the beginning of the week. That's what I feel about this Page of Swords. Just, people mouthing off and saying things because their emotions are running high, maybe not getting enough sleep, or irritated, and people's feelings get hurt. Okay? And here we have the Four of Cups. And in this card, this is a very interesting card, because here we have, it looks like the Three of Cups in the front. But this person back here is feeling left out. Now, whether or not this person is isolating themselves, and it might be that the one message the angels want to give you is that you might need to take a time, a moment to, step away from the crowd, get outside of the drama and ground yourself. Now, with an angel number 4, this card usually means, someone who's apathetic, and, just, I even see it as a bit of a depression card, before the Five of Cups, which is more of the grieving card. But, or you are feeling a little sort of, because of you're extra sensitive, you're feeling like you just need to kind of hermit, and you don't want to deal with people, and maybe you're avoiding people, or you've given up on, believing in the good in others, because maybe you get hurt a lot by people who just have no regard for their words and how they speak to you. And so you might be feeling extra sensitive, so it's so many things they're trying to say here. So it's like, on the one hand, you might be extra sensitive and then kind of cut yourself off, which is not a good thing, right? So you have to just choose better people, better friends, um, and and just be aware of that, you know. And like, and again, it may be that you just need to really, if you're just noticing that you're you're dealing with this energy is a little difficult, then you might need just some free space, um, to just really collect yourself and to really ground and to really um, get that core understanding of what's unfolding for you. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. And I feel like this is the Six of Cups here, and I feel like um, there may be. So I feel like number one is a good opportunity for inner child work and play, um, and that your inner child might easily get wounded somehow, or be a little that it, you're this I don't know, like this wounding energy. I feel like you might get easily wounded, and so you just want to be aware of that, and that you're being triggered, and so that you don't let your ego make it all about the past and your stuff, right? And so it's very important to, when we look at the page here, is also she's speaking her truth, and that's going to be the struggle in all of this, is to be true to yourself and to speak your truth, but to speak it with loving and um, and I want to say compassion, but I feel like I want to say righteousness, but right, I don't know what the word is, but it's something around this, right, like justice, or it's like about you know advocating for yourself, for the right thing, and speaking up for the right thing, and being true to yourself. Okay. All right, let's just want to look at this now. The card I pulled from the bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles. So this is about really balancing your energies. I really feel like, um, and we look at this. This is a very interesting depiction. I mean, aren't these cards really interesting? They look light and fluffy, but they are very deep, as you can see, right? They give us a lot to think about. Um, and even here, we may really want to connect in with children, and our childlike playfulness, and creativity and imagination, to sort of counteract and make the frequencies of this week productive, because it is productive, even though it might be putting it might feel like more pressure on us, but it is being productive because it's serving a purpose, right? This is an Olympian game, and the obstacle course is serving to bring out the better qualities of your performance, in your moving forward in other stages of life. All right. So, but one of the things I noticed about this card was, it was almost like on this side there is sort of lack, and then there's plenty on the other side. You can see there's almost like a leaf that's turned yellow with a snake here, the Ouroboros. So, and making this infinity sign. So the thing is that, it's like we're in seasons sometimes. Like some seasons, it's full. Life is full. It's spring. It's summer, and you know, we're prolific in our creativity and our abilities. And other times, there is everything is sparse. And but the thing is it where you find yourself. If you feel like in this week you have a lot of resources and a lot of potential, and but then go for it. But if your energy is feeling kind of low, and you're feeling like you don't have all of your wits about you, or if you're feeling very distracted and you're just not seeing all the possibilities, and that means that you need to rest. That much is not being given to you so that you can recuperate. And when much is being given to you, it's because you are fully charged to take on what is unfolding. So be aware of trying to juggle these cosmic frequencies and your day-to-day managerial, um, you know, um, task errands, your schedule, basically. And be aware of where you are. Be sensitive to how you feel. Honor, as the card says, honor yourself and your feelings. And this is a way to keep this balance flowing. It doesn't mean you're going to feel good. If you don't feel good, it means you need to rest. There's a reason for that. Don't take it personally. Don't go, oh my God, oh, something's bad is going to happen to me. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get COVID. No, you just need to relax. And that's why you're feeling that way. Respond to your body. Your body is Gaia, okay? And Gaia is blossoms in spring and summer. The greens are thick and lush, but then it's time for her to pull that all back. She's put on this beautiful pageantry. She comes out swinging with, beautiful gardens and colorful flowers, and then she just has all of this beautiful green lush, and then, okay, she needs to rest. And so she withdraws her energy, and the leaves turn these beautiful colors, and it's like giving us another show, but she's in a more relaxed state. And then when the winter comes, the world is just coated with this neutrality. And that's just about, and this blandness, and this is just about recuperate, resting, sleeping, letting things going inward, like that when the bear hibernates, and internalize the things you want to give birth to, so that in the spring, all of that you imagine flourishes forth into the world. So in this way, you need to listen to your body. What season are you in right now energetically? And work with that season. Work with the attributes of that season. There are virtues in each of the 4 seasons that makes them necessary. And just like the Gaia, the body, the earth is Gaia's body, your body is Gaia's as well. And so when your body is in certain stages or having certain reactions, or you're emotionally in a certain way, that is the time that you need to be present with yourself in that way. So honor your feelings and honor yourself is how you can really keep yourself balanced in this week. Okay? As we all are integrating these new energies. Start with this kind of awareness. And then keep this practice. Don't discard it. Keep this practice. So that you can manage the other, cosmic events that will be unfolding, especially in the next, in the next 13 years, 2032, when we'll have completed that 2-dimensional jump from 3-dimensional to 5th-dimensional. So just take care of your body. Start to now really be in alignment with Gaia, be rooted, and etc. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. And God bless you.